agter dat net gou laat hulle inteken. Ons gee dit so 1 minuut en dan sal ek begin. Intussen welkom. Welkom aan almal wat hier is vanaand. Dankie vir die moeite dat julle gekom kuier het. Ek dink is so eenmal 'n jaar wat ek hier kom staan en om net vir julle 'n bietjie terugvoer gee van wat ons doen, want ons op pad is en hoe gaan dit by die Bavaria. En daarom sê ek vir julle baie welkom. Ek sal dit nou weer herhaal, maar dankie dat julle gekom het. Ons gee net so 'n minuut en dan sal ons sommer dadelik wegspring. Roger, is everybody in? All right. I think we're gonna get going. All right. Thanks, Roger. Right, let's get going. Welcome everybody. Welkom weer eens. Dankie dat julle gekom het vanaand. Soos gesê, ek gaan dit probeer kort hou. Hierdie vergaderings kan gewoonlik lank en uitgereik raak. Ek dink dit is nie regtig hier vir my nie. Ek wil daarom net vir julle sê wat ons doen as komitee. What we are doing every day, every year, every month at the Conservancy. And then we're actually looking forward to our guest speaker, Yolandi Skuman, ecological engineer, that's going to give us a nice presentation. So from my side, again, welcome. Everybody that's here, I assume, received the invitation for the meeting. Also the previous minutes of 2023, and also the financials of the Conservancy. Everybody happy that everybody received? There's also going to be a live streaming on YouTube. I think there is also attendees, online attendees, which I'm grateful for because everybody unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. On the agenda, I just want to confirm, Shirley, we are a quorum. Thank you. We are more than 30 members. That is what we need. So we are. Thank you. So the meeting is properly convened then. Apologies. I've got apology from Mr. Himstra. Mr. Himstra had a big operation just about two and a half weeks ago. We wish him all the best. As he is at home already, and I think it's going very well with him. So apology from him, as a board member. And then Tasha Eistedt is online, obviously. She's in Dubai, still a director and a member as well, working from there. So, but she's not absent. She's actually online. She's just not here in person tonight. Any other apologies? Tasha's mother as well. Okay. Thank you very much. Then on the agenda, we're going to have the chairman's report, the financial report, election of directors, and then a few general points that we're going to deal with, and then obviously I'm going to deal with questions and answers at the end. Is there any specific points anyone wants to add to the agenda? Nothing at the moment? All right. Tatisha Bambu. Welcome. Yeah, we'll discuss it definitely. Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you. The previous minutes of our AGM held on the 9th of November 2023. Everybody received. Can we approve that minutes as a true reflection of that meeting? By just a show of hands, anybody? Thank you. So we approved. I'm not going to go through that minutes now, so I think everybody had the chance to read through them. Thank you for that. Then, just allow me to get my things. There's one thing that I was actually just missed. Just want to notice as well. We have been saddened by the news that one of our past board members, Mr. Carl Kramer, has passed away a few weeks ago. Carl was for many years actively involved in the initial committee and supported the Conservancy for many years. We're surely going to miss his attendance tonight, as he was always dedicated to the Conservancies and also the AGMs. All the best for his family through this tough time. So I just want to mention that. I don't know if someone is here that knew Carl, but yeah, he was always actively involved with us. Then I'm going to go over to the Chairman's report. Let me just get you guys there. You will see the lovely pictures of our Conservancy. Unfortunately, that photo is corrupted. All right. That was the agenda. I did run through it. I'm going to go through that now. Just for everybody, I always mention that if you look at the background and the history, and what is our purpose? What is the Friends' purpose? I'm just going to give you a quick overview. The Conservancy extends over an 86-hectare piece of land. It's 4 portions of land, and it's located to the north of Bloemfontein, close to the Botanical Gardens. And the land is owned by Mangaung Metro Municipality. And to understand that, those municipal land is public land. That's a very important point. The Friends of Seven Dams MPC adopted a role as the custodians of the land. The Friends look after the land, the development, the maintenance as a natural urban park, and as a conservancy. We hope to continue with this task for many years to come, and the Friends Group is already in existence for more than 30 years. The Friends further mitigate any negative impact on the land through consultation, negotiation, and even legal processes, if required. The Friends have a continued strong focus on consultation and interaction with Mangaung, up to a point where we can have a formal written agreement. And it's been many years, Tatisha Bambu, that we are trying to get to that point, but I think we are close. All funding members' contributions received is invested in the Conservancy and the protection thereof. And we put a strong emphasis on security in this area. We will pursue to secure an environment for comfortable use of the members, the broader public and visitors, as we have always done. Our current board of directors, sorry, I just want to quickly show you, for the guys, people that don't know, that is the piece of land which is called the Seven Dams Conservancy. That is the 86 hectares. That's the 4 portions of land that you can see over there. But we'll come to all the other details just as I move through my report. Our current board of directors, we are 7. It's myself, it's Mr. Joe Himstra, it's Cornelie Quinn, Tasha Eistedt, Mr. Lucian Kompani, Shirley Hyland, and then Riander Botha. I just want to truly thank my whole board for their loyal and passionate support and hard work behind the scenes over the past year again. I can just emphasize again that this team worked without compensation and without a lot of thanks from people, but really committed to what we do. I appreciate it, guys, and thanks a lot for all your support to me as well the past year. Our Conservancy Manager, Roger, if you can just stand up quickly as well. I don't know, I think everybody knows you by now, but there's Roger. Roger is our Conservancy Manager from the 1st of February 2023. It's almost 2 years already, Roger. I can't believe the time has passed so quickly. He has made his presence known by his active involvement, his supervision, and really became the face of the Conservancy to date. Thank you for that, Roger. We really appreciate your huge role and to help and protect and maintain the Conservancy for all of us to enjoy the use thereof. Much appreciated. As mentioned in previous AGMs as well, just mentioned again, the agreement with Mangaung Metro Municipality is one that we pursued and strongly pursued the last few years as well. We have a long established relationship with Mangaung. We are well known to Mangaung, Mr. Shabambu, if I may. And we work hard towards a signed mutual of understanding agreement, set long lease term agreement at least from a public company like this French. We have submitted drafts of this MOU to Mangaung. It was sent back, there was revisions made. We had consultation and meetings this year a few times, not even just once, and also from our legal partners, Fatsoane attorneys, that, and Mr. Lucian Kompani specifically, that pursued to the point that we can and negotiated the terms of the agreement to the point now that we can say we've got an agreement which is lying at the municipality for them to sign off, and that we have a formal written agreement at least between us and Mangaung Metro Municipality. I just want to say again thanks for our director, Lucian Kompani, and his team at Fatsoane for their legal assistance. And further, also Roger, Cornelie, all the guys that attended with us meetings with the HOD, again, for finalization of this. Our western fence, as we have reported in previous AGMs as well, we have reached the agreement a few years back with the developer on the western side to fence up that western fence. There was a lot of legal details in that agreement. We have said that we will contribute, which we did, 400,000 rand, or to a maximum of 50% of that fence. The agreement was that the fence needed to be constructed within 18 months from the signing of that agreement. That date was the 31st of March 2024. Unfortunately, our neighbor and developer and contractor, for that matter, had to run over time for a few months to finally complete a fence. But, and there was a penalty that should be imposed when he was over time, which the board have decided at that stage. And I must note that it wasn't a unanimous decision, but we have paid our full contribution of 400,000, or 50%. The price, the final construction price of that fence was 820,000 rand, but we contributed our 400,000, as we have noted in that agreement with the developer on that site. There's still a few outstanding items that wasn't in the initial agreement. We will install a 6-meter sliding gate specifically for emergency vehicles to the Conservancy from that site, from the Lilyville site. And then there's a 25-meter portion of fence to the northern sides between the Seven Dams Conservancy and the Free State Residential Care Centre that also need to be closed. If I quickly go back to the slides, the gate will be installed over there, and then the last portion is that little portion, that 25 meters on the copy there, between the residential care and the Conservancy, and we will also install a pedestrian gate for them because they always come through there, the care centre, with their people, and also make use of the Conservancy. The new fence is really a big asset to us, and obviously the security. I think you could have seen the last year or so as well that I think we can say, I must always be, let me rather not say that. But yeah, we're happy that we fenced up, and we can at least look now to a more secure and friendly environment for our people. The proclamation as a protected environment, I think we've reported on this before. We have received the full motivation and need to approach our landowner Mangaung for permission to proceed with the proclamation. After the approval then, the process for proclamation as a protected environment will commence with this tier. The Friends have initiated this, and we will also fund the process. It's a process that's going to take a few years. It will definitely cost very close to 200, maybe even more, thousand rand to get that done. But it's definitely something that we will pursue. We just wait again for our formal agreement with Mangaung, where after we can initiate and ask for permission to proceed. Our veld management plan, invasive species, with the help of our environmental management group, EMG, they have conducted a full survey of the Conservancy and draw up an alien invasive plant management plan for the area, which we have funded. And Roger and his team work hard in the past year and are quite busy every day, almost as we speak, to implement and maintain all invasive species in the Conservancy. And I must say, the Conservancy looks really good. Roger, just want to thank you and your team again for all the hard work regarding this, and also the involvement of EMG the whole time, helping identifying and the way to remove this invasive species in the Conservancy. Our team have our maintenance team on site with 2 employees not full-time, they're working Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays. Cleaning, maintaining, cleaning the dustbins, cutting off the roads, cutting off fire breaks, taking out the invasive species as I've just mentioned. I think if needed, we may extend the service, but at the moment I think we're managing well with the two that we've got. And we will always have, well, with Roger's guidance, if more maintenance is needed, we may extend the labour component on that as well. Membership fees, we are currently 1,137 individual members. And then we have the corporate membership of Wild Olive Estate Owners Association, plus minus 1,800 people staying in the estate. And we estimate that about 10% of the people use the conservancy from Wild Olive Estate Gate on a regular basis. So at least another 180 people that use and walk there every day. We thank all members that take hands with us to protect the conservancy. Without your support, your contributions towards us, I will not be able to stand here tonight. So thanks a lot for everybody's help. Our current membership fees is R300 per member annually. I further would like to express my thanks to Mr. Joe Imstra, and also again, Roger, you featured on all my thanks. So thanks again for keeping up our members register and keeping everybody well informed. The amendment of the Spatial Development Framework, unfortunately, again, today I can't confirm. We have requested, just going to quickly take you back to the map again. There was a certain portion that was shown as developable area on the Spatial Development Framework of Mangaung. We have wrote a few requests to Mangaung with acknowledgement and requested that they should take that out and make sure the whole portion is green on the Spatial Development Framework. Unfortunately, up until to date, we haven't received a formal comment from them and say that it is now just a green open space as it should be. So we'll still wait for feedback on that. The rules. Remember that the conservancy is first and foremost a nature conservation area, and all conduct in the conservancy must be accordingly. We had to amend the rules to align with the Mangaung Metro Municipality's bylaws for the use of open spaces. We realized that we can't have separate rules and have implicating incidents in the conservancy. One of the major rule changes is that dogs should always be leashed. Previously, as long as the dog is under your control, it was okay. But unfortunately, we had to change that rule, and we had to incorporate the Metro Municipality's use of open spaces. We unfortunately had many negative incidents in the past where animals were killed, as well as members that were bitten by dogs that were not in control. So that was a huge thing for us, and unfortunately we had to take measures and to redraft our rules and to take a decision to change that rule specifically. Thank you for Mr. Joe Imstra and also our Director Lucian Compani for their work on the rules. And I can always emphasize, just always please be considerate towards other users in the conservancy. Access, control and security. We can again emphasize that the conservancy is available to all public members, but we should at least know who you are. cannot have a secure and safe environment if access is not controlled. We now have 5 access points into the Conservancy, with the addition of that 6th gate to the northwestern side that I've highlighted now, to the Free State Residential Care Centre. And today I also want to thank Mr. Steve Libber of the Wild Olive Estate team and his security team for their patrols, specifically on the eastern side, but also for the cameras up there on the fence. These guys just do a phenomenal job to help and secure the area for everybody. Just a reminder again that all emergency contact details is on the boards. When you enter in any of the entrances, you will see there's new boards that was brought on there. Please keep that emergency contact details with you when you use the Conservancy. So at least then you are actively can be in contact actively when needed. We were again fortunate this year that we had no fires in the Conservancy during the winter season. We have obviously done the necessary fire breaks as we've done every year, mostly on the perimeter, as well as a few fire breaks that dissect the Conservancy. You would have seen them during the winter. I've seen them pretty much overgrown again with all the lovely rains that we had. And then Roger and the workers also attended a fire management workshop that was presented by Mangaung Fire Protection Association. And the NPC is also a member of this association, and we will obviously continue to support this affiliation going forward. On our administration side, Shirley Hyland, thank you for all your hard work, keeping everything well and so well administrated. With her management skills, the meetings, the agendas, the minutes, and everything that she values the Conservancy. It's such a privilege to have her as part of our team. And I might as well just say that she has also raised her hand to take the leading role as chairman from next year. We wish her well on this role going ahead. Thank you, Shirley. Our website, social media, and marketing. Our website is continuously updated. Please visit our website, www.sevendams.co.za. All the information of the Conservancy is on there. The rules is there. To become a member is there, so it's so easy to access. Please like and share our Facebook page. Please post pictures. You've seen our pictures. Just please post us nice photos. That is in the Conservancy. So we even have thunder over there. Enlightening. So thank you, Tasha Eistedt, our director, for her contributions towards the online activities, the marketing and the social media. Further, for the creation of a snap scan. You see, if you enter into the Conservancy, these boards, a snap scan, you can just hold your phone there and all the information, even become a member rules, and all the information of the Conservancy is on there. Please make use of it. Such a lovely app to have and to use as well. Then we are excited about our birding competition. I hope everybody has seen it. It started on the 1st of October, and the competition will run over a 6-month period up until 31st of March 2025. And there's some great prizes to win. Maybe I hope that's a motivation. But even if that's not, just go and look at the lovely birds in the Conservancy. Remember that the photos need to be taken into the Conservancy. Please invite your friends, scholars, specifically scholars. I just want everybody to come and enjoy the competition and to learn more about the birds and the birds in the Conservancy. just going to run to the, there we go. That's the 6 birds that you need to find in 6 months' time with a proper photo. And then you can just mail it to info@7dams.co.za, where from it will be shared on Facebook and all the social media pages. Please guys, support our initiative. I think it's a great one. Our future management and control. We will continue to promote the Seven Dams Conservancy, including the conservation of it, its natural habitat, assuring a pleasurable recreational experience. We are committed to work with Mangaung Metro Municipality to a memorandum of understanding and a long-term agreement, which I hope is very close. We have done so for the past 30 years. We are committed to protect the Conservancy for the broader public, for future generations, and to keep a safe and secure environment for all users. I thank everybody for your committed support, commitment towards us, and obviously your contributions towards us that makes this possible. Thank you. Shirley, if I can invite you, I think this is the part that we're going to do the lucky draws for tonight. Sorry, I should have given you a heads up there. I just want to mention quickly before we go over to the lucky draws, and thanks to the team that given us the lucky draws. The gifts are generously sponsored by Dawie Human and Henny de Bruin, the proud owners of Likkierbos Urban Olive Farm and Lodge. We are so grateful to be able to accept the sponsorship from Likkierbos, who are dedicated to positively impact on our environment. Throughout the lodge and olive farm, you'll find evidence of this commitment, from the indigenous gardens, the rain tanks, to water treatment systems, and an environmentally friendly home. Likkierbos prioritize sustainability. Please visit their website for locally produced olive oil, soap, lotions, and arrangement of other gifts and treats. Thank you, Likkierbos. I draw a number. Yes. Number 15. Number 15. Please come. Please come to the fore. Congratulations. Number 10, number 10. Number 22. Number 22. Number 22 must be here. Did you lost your ticket? Well, number 22. All right, unfortunately, gone. Forfeited. Sorry, number 22. Maybe it was me. No.
Yeah, we didn't take...
No, it wasn't. Number 3. Number 3. Thank you. Okay, next is our financial report. I'm going to ask Cornelie to come and present to us. Thank you, Cornelie. Run over the slides. Happy day.
Yes.
Can you see?
Dit raakt ons weg. Dit. Dis oké. Ja. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As always, it is my pleasure to just quickly run through our financials for the last year. Just a reminder, our financial year is from the 1st of July up until the 30th of June. So it is for the financial year then that ended June of 2024. As you can see, our income mainly comes from our donations or our membership fees. And actually, I can mention it increased slightly from 2023. And I think the amount also more or less corresponds with the amount of members that we have. So as Emil mentioned, the 1,000-odd members, 300 Rand that every person then contributes towards the Conservancy. Then also interest that we made. We have a small little nest egg to the side that, for example, the 400,000 Rand for the fence that will actually appear on next year's statements and so forth. So we have, I think we make not too badly. We do not too poorly in terms of our interest. Then in terms of our expenses, our main expenses then are our employee costs, our wages. Roger, thank you very much from my side as well. And then our 2 laborers who work with us, as Emil mentioned, 3 days a week. And then, yes, of course, always we do have our bank charges, some accounting fees. We use Martelies Bester accountants. We'll get to them again in a moment. Because since we incorporated, we have all kinds of regulations and things that we have to comply with, and they do an amazing job to make sure that all our things are above board in terms of those things. And then another major expense then was, the maintenance and repairs that we have to do. The upkeep of the Conservancy is ongoing, and like Emil mentioned, the fire breaks, the invasive species, all these things that keeps the guys busy. There are obviously all kinds of costs involved. So those are the main incomes. Oh, I can mention in terms of subscriptions as well. Emil said we belong to the Fire Protection Agency. We pay an annual subscription there. There's a little bit of money that also goes towards the maintenance of our website and so forth. So there you can see our total incomes and our total expenses for the year. Are there any questions? Fantastic. Then the second point that is my responsibility this evening is just to once again ask from the quorum if they are happy that we continue to use Martelies Bester as our auditors. As I mentioned, they do an amazing job to make sure all our things are above board. If I can get a yes and a second yes. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, everybody. Emil, terug naar jou toe.
Cornelie, thanks a lot. That is the right person to have when you have finances that needs to be dealt with. So she just got a strong hand and so well control over everything. We much appreciate it, Cornelie. And it's been long now, but much appreciated still. Thanks. We're going over now to the election of directors. I just want to go through a few critical things that we have decided this year. We had to reconsider our position as board members, and for various reasons must realign our positions to be more inclusive going forward. We have therefore requested our current board of directors to reconsider their positions. And as mentioned, we are in full pursuit of getting a signed agreement with Mangaung Metro Municipality. I therefore have a very special thanks tonight for our two directors, Reander Botha and Natasha Eistad, that have devoted so much of their personal time with so much dedication to the Friends. They have both willingly resigned to make way for a greater purpose of the Friends of the Seven Dams and the pursuit to our signed agreement. Both Reander and Natasha will still be involved with the Friends going forward, still work on an ad hoc basis in similar portfolios that they have been working the last few years for us. I therefore request a big hand of applause for those two directors, and we want to request approval from the meeting as well to write them in as honorary members of the Friends of the Seven Dams NPC. These guys, just a hand for these people. As chairman after 5 years now, I will stand down by the end of December. And obviously I will still stay on as a director on the board, but also will give my full support to the new chair the coming year of 2025. In line with what I've just said, we therefore request and motivate that we need a new director to the board in line with our goal of transformation. Please send your CVs to info@sevendams.co.za. We will not immediately fill this post, but we'll have interviews to appoint the right person, obviously with passion for the conservancy, for the environment. That's very important for us. That's what we do for no other reason. And then we'll obviously give training for the year to come, and then we'll have a formal appointment on the next AGM, or maybe prior to that on the board of directors. From my side, that's the directors. Any questions on that? Then I'm going over to questions and answers, actually additional items. The one item that was added, access control. Tatisha Bambu, can you come and join me, or you want to stand over there? You can just, Tatisha Bambu, I can just introduce him to you formally. He's from Mangaung. Tatisha Bambu is involved from Mangaung as the conservancy manager, and he's been involved with us for many years, very supportive, very pro what we do. So thank you for coming here tonight. That is also much appreciated.
Okay, thank you.
And then, yeah, your question or your question on access control.
Good evening, everyone, again. I just want to highlight the complaint or the concern from the public, are those who are staying around you here. They complain about that they are restricted to have access to the reserve, to the conservancy. Then in that meeting, I was there when the HOD raised this complaint. There's a people who are pushing a negative sort of a narrative that sort of the conservancy is a special place for other community to enjoy the access and enjoy the environment. But on that day, I was fortunate. One of my colleagues who's staying around here raised the hand. I know it's not true. 7 dams is for everyone. I'm part of 7 dams. I'm paying 300 rand per year. And then from there is where how can I put it? This where at least the management have understood that no, it's just a propaganda from other people who are having negative attitude towards friends of 7 dams. What I can say is people are jealous of you guys. You know why? You are doing a good job. You are doing a good job. I'm telling everyone that 7 dams is the best conservancy around here in the Free State, around in specifically Mangaung, where we are operating. You are doing a good job. I'm trying every day to teach the new management, even other my bosses, about you guys, of what you are doing. For example, it is very rare. You are the only one who are having a conservancy manager and 2 assistants or 3 assistants, and sometimes there were 4. But all in all, now, on our side, I told them, those people that are willing to open the place to the public, as long as we can budget for an access control. But I'm going to put it in my budget for 2025, 2026. I'm visualizing with Roger how much can we put to have an access gate and a toilet. But you have told me that you want to make a bed height where you can have toilets and a hide in one area. So then we are going to put budget in that thing, but it's by next year when we're having this kind of a meeting, I'll report you back if it is approved, of which I doubt. It's just a talk. It's just a talk. It's and conservation. I've been in conservation for more than 40 years. I know what's happening in conservation. Conservation is suffering everywhere. It's not only you guys. It's not only us. Everywhere, conservation is on the back seat. But all in all, we are going to put a budget for the development of an access gate. If it is approved, I will appreciate. But all in all, I would like to thank you guys for your hard work. The most important thing that you have done to me, that when you stopped the road that was supposed to cut across the conservancy, to me that was the highlight of you guys, of the good job that you have done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Tatirulani from our side as well, thank you. Thank you for all the years. I've mentioned it and I'm going to mention it again. For your support. We've missed you. He was away for a while, not part of it for the last few months, but he's back and you can hear that. I appreciate you and I much appreciate all the effort and all the fights that he stood next to me when we had to fight some political changes and some political force that they want us a few years back. I much appreciate that, Tati Shabambu. Thanks for going forward as well. I know you're going to be there for us. Thanks for that. Any other questions? Any other questions that we can deal with now? Anything? Everybody happy? Looks like it. Nothing. All right. Thanks a lot. And then I just want to thank a few people specifically. And then I'm going to close the meeting. From my side, I would like to thank the following groups, individuals that work with us. First, foremost, all the members, all the support. Our Wild Olive Estate member, which is our only corporate member, the Wild Olive Estate team. Thanks you guys. It's a huge financial contribution towards the Conservancy every year. Special thanks to my directors, which I've mentioned already. I'm going to mention them again. It's people that work for free, look after the Conservancy, Mr. Joe Imstra, Rihanna Botha, Natasha Eistad, Cornelie Quinn, Lucian Compani, and Shirley Highland. Special thanks also to Roger. I did thank you a lot tonight. Thank you again for your hard work. Our workers at the Conservancy, Charlie and Lucky, please convey my thanks to them as well, Roger. Appreciate that. The directors at the Wild Olive Estate Owners Association for their support, Mr. Vinnie Singh, Mr. Johan Snyman, AJ Boshoff, again Mr. Lucian Compani, and also Mr. John Mpete. Our management team at Wild Olive Estate, Mr. Steve Leber, Max, the Barshu. You can just thank them for me as well, Steve. I think there's so much going on behind the scenes regarding security and cameras and even readiness for fires and everything. I don't think we can appreciate more what they've done for the Conservancy as well. We don't always see them, but in the background there's always action and people ready to help and assist. The security manager, I've mentioned him, also Pro4 Security, Steve, you will thank them in all our behalf as well. Councillor Johan Pretorius, he's not here tonight. Our HOD for Community Services, we had interaction with him. Dr. Tabang Tinda, Tatisha Bambu, if you may just convey our thanks to him as well. I know he's very pro and helpful regarding the French groups as well. Mr. Herbert Caster, the General Manager at the Parks Department. Then Head of the Legal Department, Ms. Charlie Naidu, as well as Mafoli Pizzo, people that also are in support of us. And then the managers, Mr. Lucas Makuluani, that looked after us for the last few months. And I'm thankful that Mr. Rulani Shabambu is back with us. And then from our side, Tati Shabambu as well, that we are also open to help and assist other conservancies. I think we are by far the most advanced in what we do and how we structured it. So we are definitely open to assist wherever we can with other conservancies in the Greater Mangaung as well. So if no other questions, then that closes the meeting for 2024. I'm going to ask Shirley to come and introduce our speaker for tonight. Shirley, if you may. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky, and considering that Emile was also a little bit cheeky tonight with announcing some things, I also just want us to take a moment before I introduce our guest speaker to really say thank you to Emile for everything that he has done. I've only been on part of the committee for a short time, but I've learned so much from Emile. He's got such an incredible passion for wild olive. Nothing is too much, not for wild olive, for the wild olive as well, but for the Conservancy. And nothing is too much effort for him, not just in the Conservancy, but from a person perspective as well. So, Emile, I'm delighted to take over. I've got incredibly big shoes to fill. But thank you for everything that you do. And I would then also like to put it forward that Emile also be an honorary member as the other two directors. You're not stepping away, but I think in light of everything, if that is a possibility as well, please. All right, thank you very much. Emile, bye then. Okay, so I think Emile gave this to me because there are words in this little piece that no person can pronounce. So Yolandi, vergewe my, I'm going to try my best. So our guest speaker this evening is an ecological engineer who champions bio-intelligent ecosystems to advance planetary health. She pioneered groundbreaking fields such as extreme ecological engineering, including archaeological and astroecological engineering. Recognized globally, Yolandi's innovations have earned numerous accolades, including the winner of the 2016 Global Clean Tech Innovation Program for South Africa and a global runner-up in Silicon Valley in 2017. She has driven innovations, corporate strategy, post-normal science research across continents including Russia, Australia, Africa, and the United States of America. In 2024, her visionary work led to a Green City project to be announced as a runner-up in the World Green City Awards. She has presented her research at international conferences virtually everywhere, published in leading journals, and is an alumni of the Australian Leadership Program. Yolandi holds a PhD in environmental management and completed a second ridiculous, PhD in economic and management sciences focusing on coupled human-natural systems. She also leads various innovation labs, holds leadership positions in companies dedicated to ecosystem regeneration, and founded the world's first nature-focused bank. Yolandi Schoeman, please come and join us.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you also for being here. I think very special AGM, of course, and a very special conservancy that you are all involved in. So I'm not going to keep you too long, but I really want to provoke some thought for you to take home, after this meeting as well. And it's all about our contribution to our ecosystem. You know, you don't have to try and save the world to make a difference. It all starts in small steps. And that's why my presentation title is all about sustainable living through the lens of the ecosystem. So, and I think I want to ask you the question is, should we not reimagine space? And the space, I mean our habitat, where you stay, which is your habitat, your home, whether it's in a flat, whether it's you're staying in an estate, wherever you are staying, that's your habitat. You're part of the ecosystem. And there's a number of questions that I would like to ask you. And some of the questions are, what role does my own habitat play in the environment around where I am? How many species and ecological interactions do you think depend on the choices you make in your garden or your living space? Also, how many species visit your outdoor space, wherever you are? And how many more could if you made a few simple changes? And then, are we unintentionally creating ecological deserts with what we do in our own gardens, like lawns, for instance? And those are some of the questions that I want to leave with you tonight. So when we look at a natural area, it looks fantastic. And I think COVID really demonstrated again how deep our connection with nature really is. We can't separate ourselves from nature, we're part of it. And that is why we also need to champion nature wherever we are. And when we look at these natural spaces, also the beautiful conservancy that you are all involved in, is really looking at how we all can do our part in promoting the nature around us, whether you want to do it at your own house, your home, your garden. I think there may be a lot of keen gardeners around us. Who has got a bird feeder at home? Exactly, you see, you have a very deep love for nature already. Nature is part of us, it heals us. It really does a lot to our inner spirit and our well-being as well. So, we live with various types of inefficiency every day. And of course, this might be a little bit small to read, but I'm going to touch on a few to just indicate to you every day the decisions that we make, that it has wider consequences, not only for our immediate area, but also even our regional area as well. So our energy use, 30% of household energy is wasted annually through inefficient appliances and of course habits. When we look at waste generation, an average household, 2 to 3, generates 2,500 kilograms of waste per year, which can be more or less between 40 to 60% organics, and then around also 60% recyclable materials. But there's also quite a varied percentage, depending on where you are, your living conditions, amount to what type of non-recyclables you also generate. When we look at lawns, manicured lawns, I'm not talking, well, we don't talk about the golf courses now, but when we just look at a simple lawn, it requires 25,000 liters of water per year to displace indigenous it displaces indigenous flora and supports fewer than 10 species. And that's, I think, about 50 square meters of lawn. Then when we look at our lighting, excessive outdoor lighting can contribute up to 35% of urban light pollution in suburban areas. And that also, of course, has a huge impact on nocturnal life. And of course, for safety reasons, we also in some areas need to have that lighting. But this just shows you the impact of what our living conditions and our choices, and some choices that we don't have much control over, that we are forced to do, can influence nature. Okay, let me go to the next one. Okay, so I want to touch on the lawn again, because that is actually something that impacts widely on water use, efficiencies, and of course biodiversity overall. And remember, your home where you are, your garden, it's an ecosystem. And that actually needs to talk to the ecosystem of your neighbor. And that all starts creating then, on a state level, interconnections, where we start looking at pollinator habitats, where we look at promoting local biodiversity. And that all fits part of the pieces of a puzzle. So, lawns support fewer than 10 species. Sometimes it depends, but if you look at the weeds, it can be up to maybe 2 to 3 predominant species, which are primarily your non-indigenous grasses as well. They can disrupt the natural habitat as well. They can provide minimal organic matter to soil and reduce microbial diversity. And that's where we built the case for more natural gardens, to invite pollinators in, of course, and to contribute overall to the ecosystem where we stay. Now, when we manage our habitat and we start looking at certain solutions, just in terms of indoor plants, the type of plants that we plant, it can have quite a big impact. For instance, if you add indoor plants, it can adjust your thermostat by 1 degree Celsius. If you include 10 small plants indoors, that of course has another impact on terms of your well-being as well, the temperature regulation. When we look at garden biodiversity, replacing your lawn with indigenous plants, very important. Our insect population are decreasing. And that's definitely something that we need to focus on, is looking at your pollinated plants. So those are a lot of some of the aspects that you can include in terms of your daily life, whether it's energy management, working much wiser with water, all comes down to how we manage that habitat for the greater ecosystem as well. So just going back, when we add a bird bath or a pond, we can support up to 15 species of amphibians and reptiles. And I know some people are not very keen on amphibians, but they have a very good regulator of some of the insects as well. So everything is connected, and everything that we do is connected at your house, at your garden as well. And it's very important to every day be conscious about how your ecosystem changes as well with the choices that you make. So I think we all face unique challenges. We all have a contribution towards the ecosystem that we need to make. And I really want to leave you with thinking about all these solutions and how we can make the ecosystem better around us. So when we look, the second part of my talk is about the Sewe Conservancy area, of course. And it's an area, of course, you're very much aware. It's a sort of an isolated area, if you could agree. And there's a lot of impacts, of course, that promotes poor water quality and also on landscape level as well, some degradation. And when we start thinking of how we can recover this ecosystem, it's very important to firstly know where does this ecosystem fit in the greater scheme of things on that landscape. And I think if that is a next step towards you to start regenerating that ecosystem, it's a very good place to start. And I think what we sometimes forget is that nature is an open book. You must just read it. And what I have in my hand here is between 500 million to 3 billion years old. It is a fossilized structure of ancient microbials that was part of the very, very early life forms of Earth, which we call a stromatolite. And what's very important is that these organisms really contributed to turning hostile environments into starting to be livable environments for complex organisms to start living in there. And I think when we start thinking about how are we going to approach and regenerate an ecosystem, I think we need to go way back to the start of the Earth. How did the Earth manage this environment, which was absolutely crazily, you couldn't stay there, and how Earth evolved to actually turn that whole situation around to create this beautiful planet that we have now. So what I did, I had a look, of course, the greater Bloemfontein area, and I had a look of some possible solutions that you can apply in terms of regenerating this area, of course, the Sewe area. And we talk about regenerating wetlands. Water harvesting systems is where we start recharging certain aquifers. You have to design this very intelligently when you want to regenerate these ecosystems. Integrating also your microbes, your microbial organisms as well. But very important, nature is regarded still by too many groups, individuals, politicians, as a luxury. And I would say that nature needs to be regarded as an asset. It can be taken to the markets. There's a lot of potential for instance, phytocarbon farming, and also obtaining biodiversity credits, where a lot of your regeneration activities that you do can be funded from the value of your biodiversity that you have. And I think it's very important to understand that nature is not a luxury, it's an essential. It's a critical element of what we need for our well-being and, of course, in terms of our survival. So I want to end off with a project. We established an urban biosphere reserve in Pretoria East. For those of you that's very familiar with Pretoria, it's quite a built-up area, but there is here and there still green areas. And we started with the plan to see how we can reintroduce nature into the city, to make the city more wild. And that area has on iNaturalist observations of biodiversity of more than 51,000 observations, which is just amazing. So I want to also use this wonderful occasion to hand over the award that was presented to us in Utrecht, in Netherlands. We were announced as finalists and a runner-up in the category of biodiversity, living green spaces, and also urban restoration in terms of ecosystem. And I really want to hand over this award to Professor Paul Weber-Holster, who also spearheading this research and also taking this research much forward in the research that we are doing. Prof. Paul, I just want to hand over this award to you. And I think it really demonstrates that cities are going to become a haven for biodiversity. Biodiversity is already shaping and changing in city environments, and our deal and our responsibility is, of course, to create these environments for human and natural environments. Possible. It's a community effort, you integrate research, and you really take these natural spaces in your urban area to the next level. And I also want to take this opportunity to launch a global initiative that we have, and we call it the Biosphere City Initiative. And Bloemfontein and, of course, your conservancy is very welcome to join here as well, where we try and uplift this area, support this area, of course, that we can strengthen the connections between humans and, of course, nature. So I want to leave you with a few thoughts. Of course, landscape and connectivity are very important. Our community approach is very important. And I think our way forward for these urban areas would be to go the direction of the United Nations recognized urban biosphere reserve areas, where we can really integrate people, still look after their well-being, bring nature into their doorstep, and foster those connections between nature. Thank you very much.
It's so important for us to, exactly as you say, to understand our own spaces and how our own spaces contribute to the bigger picture. So thank you for highlighting that for us. I think we all know it, but we tend to forget about it on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much. Thank you for making the trip to come and spend some time with us, and we'll see you afterwards. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yolani, thank you from my side as well. I think that's an important thing to understand the interaction between human and nature, especially in the cities. I think we can conserve conservancy areas so good in cities as long as you have the political support to do that. And I think you mentioned it So again, it's so important to have that great interaction between human and conservancy. Thank you, guys. That closes everything for tonight. Please join us for a coffee and a cool drink and something to eat at the back. And thank you again for everybody that was here tonight. Much appreciated. Thanks.